things change, things do up ahead. The story you're writing isn't written yet. This evening is only a paint. In the morning, your writer will begin again.
The ink you breathe is never dry, and you won't predict your course, no matter how hard you try.
And while there will be more frustration and pain,
There will also be joy, fortune, and love.
up ahead and just out of view, the world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you.
Up ahead and just out of view, the world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you. So let me be your cure. I'll push your fears aside. Together we could find your answers.
And when it gets too dark, so dark we just can't hide, we let love, we will let love, oh we will let love be our
Up ahead
and just out of view.
up ahead,
I promise you, and just out of view,
the world is
waiting for you. The world is waiting for you.
So I'll just get rid of that. Robin's coming right after us. Her guest, she screwed up the time, so she was supposed to be at 8, but she screwed up the times because he's overseas. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming right after this show at 9:30. So we're going to go to 9:30. Okay, let's just jump into this. This is I've had Angela has been on the Cardi Girls before, where she's talking about the sexualization of children, especially in literature. And so we've got Angela Rojas, and this is great. If you want to talk about literature, well, why wouldn't you have someone called Reed? So we've got Rachel Reed. Don't tell me no one's ever used that joke. I thought, is that a con? But yeah, so here we go. Yeah. Now, I have
That's
to
funny.
say, I am a huge fan of anyone who stands up and anyone who tackles this issue because it's horrendous. So how would you like to start,
It
lady?
is. Thank you for having us on and giving us a platform to talk about
I've
this.
actually got a storm and I've got fireworks. So so we'll just that's Sydney for you.
Thank you for allowing this message to be spread. It just keeps getting squashed, and I think it's so important that people hear this information because the truth sets us free. And so, like, when you hear it tonight, part of you will go, I don't want that to be true. And I think you've kind of got to go, like, this is real information. This has been very well tracked and traced, and it's horrific. But this is why we have to stand up for our children. It's so, so important.
100%. I'm just putting these in so I can hear you over the rain. So
Yes.
what? Let's start with you, Rachel. What got you into this? What was it that suddenly made you go, okay, I'm going to fight this? What got you there?
I joined the governing council of my daughter's school. So I've got like younger children, older children, and the youngest of my older children was doing year 12. And I've never been on a governing council, which is like parents and friends. And I was talking to one of the dads, and he goes, "Why don't you come and join?" And I just thought that's really boring. But then I thought I should go. Like, I felt compelled to go. So I went, and then partway through the year, the director of education came, and she said, "We've got a new curriculum. We've got a new government, and the landscape is very different to what it used to be." And straight away, I thought, I need to read the curriculum. And my ears just kind of pricked up, and I was like, I need to read it. So I went and did some research, and I went to you could go to version 9 on the internet, and you can get it and then follow all the links. And I came to the respectful relationships page, and I started reading it. It's a 96-page document, and it said in there that we want to teach the kids about sexual pleasure and how to be good lovers. And I just thought, you don't need to be teaching anyone's child about how to be a good lover. You don't need to teach me how to be a good lover. That's none of your business, right? That's not a government's job to teach anyone how to be a good lover. And then it says, how can we teach? Yeah.
It's like
then it says, how can we teach consent?
You want to make a joke out of it, but it's so serious. You know what I mean? Because
it's like you go, no. Do you know, like, surely it can't be real. And then it says, how can we teach consent without first teaching sexual pleasure? So what they mean by sexual pleasure is orgasms, right? I actually looked into the work of the woman who wrote it because I thought I want to get some clarification around this. What does she mean by sexual pleasure? So I went to her other work, and she makes it extremely, extremely clear. She's talking about children and orgasms. So what they're saying is, how can we teach a child to say no unless we teach them first about orgasms? No child needs to learn about orgasms at school. They can't read and write properly. They don't know how to do maths properly. Let's stick to those topics and leave the sex and relationships topics for the family. The teachers need to stay out of it. The school needs to stay out of it.
Interesting thing, there's 8 billion human beings on the planet. We know how to fuck. I'm sorry to be. We don't need to be. Instead, can I tell you, say we were all the same age and teenagers now, what we're doing as adults is removing from them the own journey of finding your own sexuality. Those mistakes you make, how nervous, your first kiss, the first thing, this should be theirs, their journey. They don't need us to go, no, you've got to go here, and then you use this machine, and fuck off. I'm sorry, it's just so furious. Sorry to swear. Yeah.
Yes. And they're getting younger and younger. Like the children, what they're watching.
Angela, just so we have a thing coming in. Now, you've been on before.
Yes.
What is driving you? And I love the fact that you're still going. And I can see it in your face that you got a fire in your belly.
Yes.
Tell us how you've been going since you first came on and how it's growing.
Well, I started off a few years ago. I started to homeschool my girls because I just had enough with the school system and other reasons. And when I was in the libraries, I saw these sexually explicit books in the public libraries. And I was like, what do I do about it? And I got the inspiration to do it, to speak at my local council and spoke at another council and all these events bringing awareness.
Can I just ask, I just want to ask you a specific question for others who are wanting to join you. What was it like the first time you spoke at the council? Because I'm guessing you've never done that before.
No.
And you're going up with this issue. What was that like, just getting over the edge of that?
First of all, public speaking and speaking of pornographic books just don't go together. It's the most difficult combination to do. The first, I've given 2 different deputation speeches at 2 different councils, and the first one, I wasn't allowed to do the images as a PowerPoint presentation because the images were too sensitive for their live stream on YouTube. And the second deputation, the acting CEO put in an email requested the removal of the images that I would hand out to the mayor and councillors, because sitting members, adult members, might find them offensive, and they need to keep their councillors safe. And these
From
are
a
books for
kid's book
children.
that's going to their grandkids. And I might ask the same question for you, Rachel. It's a thing of when you first become an activist, unless you've been one all your life, what was the first major thing you did where you thought, okay, this is where I'm testing myself? Can I proceed? What was it that, and I'm only because so many Australians are refusing to stand up, and it's a lot of fear holding them back. So what was the first thing you did?
I think it was probably a newspaper called me and they said, will you go on record? And I was like, am I going to like get in trouble here? And I was so nervous. And I went, yeah, okay. And I thought she was going to twist my words and, make me sound like a hateful, angry bigot.
Yeah.
She
like
actually presented the story really well. Well, I had no idea how it was going to be portrayed, but I thought, I'm willing to die on this hill because the children can't speak up. And
that's right.
I need to speak for them. And the children are actually feeling sick. Like in class, they're feeling like they want to vomit. They're feeling like they want to faint. They're being naughty, so they get kicked out. Like they're reacting in ways without using words to get them out of the class. And I've been talking to a young girl, and I said to her, what are you learning about in class? She goes, I can't listen. I completely shut down. She's got trauma. And she's just said to me, I block the whole class out because I can't listen to any of it. It's so triggering to me. And so that's who we're speaking for. We're speaking for the children because they can't, 100%. They don't know how to say it.
100%. Well, I think it seems so insane that, like, I'm 59 and we've gone from doing kiss chasey in schools where the boys learn the girls' toilet is Barleys, which actually sets us up for life. You don't go into a girls' toilet, it's Barleys. You learn that in grade 1, and I love it because that's a woman's safe space. And now you can go in. You go, oh, but I am a woman. And you just go in. It's just insane. But and now they're teaching those things. Can we go back to the books that you saw, Angela?
Yeah.
What was it about the books that made you go, okay, you say sexually explicit, but talk about some of the things you saw which just did your head in.
It was porn. There was instruction on masturbation. The guy, Let's Talk About It, the Guide to Getting It On, and all those sorts of books. It was, a book for teens on sex and relationships. It had no human reproduction and everything about how to get off. And I actually shared a couple of the images on my Facebook, and I copped a Facebook ban for a while. I was automatically restricted. And Facebook recognizes it as being pornographic or too explicit, but children can go off the shelf and pick it up. And it's not just in the public libraries. In South Australia, we have a one-card system. There's about 13 or 14 regional schools that use that one-card system, but also there might be some of these books in schools. We found a book on the South Australian Reading Challenge, Premier's Reading Challenge list that was added there for reception to year 2. And that went into full penetrational intercourse with images and instruction. It was very graphic. And by exposing that book, I was able to get it deleted off the Premier's Reading Challenge book list a couple of years ago. But I had to borrow the book and show it at a number of events. And I've challenged another book for classification. And as a mum, I went through all these stages, and that book came out unrestricted by the classification board. I applied for a fee waiver, and they denied it because Penguin Random House has a reputation, a good reputation apparently, and it's an educational book. And to challenge the classification board, it would cost $10,000 to take them to tribunal, and I don't have that type of money. So, and then an opportunity came up because I went through the classification. They sent me an email inviting me to become a classifier for film and games. They probably had no idea who they were sending the invitation to. So I did the course, and I had to get an above 90% mark, and I got it. So I became a classifier for film and games, and my only action has been exposing the system. So, and I'm using it. But
when you go back for a sec, when you said year 2, are you talking
5 to 7 years old?
5 to 7 year old
Yes.
are being taught instructions of full penetration.
Yeah. Yeah, that was on the
I think
Premier's
we should
reading
use
challenges.
this language. I don't think we should if we've got the courage to speak about that. If you've got a 5 and 7 year old going to school, they're learning about full sexual penetration.
Also, I mean, if you look at the curriculum and even the rainbow books, they all starts at from 3 years old. The Respectful Relationships program starts at kindy and childcare now. So it's
3 years old.
From 3 years old.
3 years old.
What they do role playing and cross dressing and role playing, and it's supposed to. It's aimed at protecting children and teaching them about stereotypes and the toxic masculinity, and trying to gender neutralize everything. That's how they try to aim it or try to make it sound. But and even when you go into the other year levels of the curriculum, they do class topics or discussions on, if you were a non-binary alien, how would you come out on if to announce that you're non-binary? Like, what would your Facebook page look like? Or even topics on discussions around porn world versus real world sex, and that would be a classroom discussion.
My God, a classroom discussion.
Yeah. So teachers are asking, we'll do surveys. They want to know students' sexual preferences, orientation, emotional, everything. It's gross, yeah.
It's unbelievable. You're literally listening to it, trying to get your head around it. It's just so unbelievable. Yeah, go on.
When you
find
out where it comes from, it is absolutely mind blowing. Like, you just think, how did we let this get here? We've got. So I've got a table. Are you ready to show the table? Because I can talk about this.
Yes, I am. Let me get it here.
So
here it is.
All right. So this is a table. This is called Table 34. And this table is in the book from Alfred Kinsey, his name is, and he wrote a book released the book in 1948 called Sexual Behavior in the Human Male. And he included this table in his book. This table is a record of the orgasms of pre-adolescent boys aged from 5 months to 14 years old. You can see on the table that there's a 4-year-old who has 26 orgasms in 24 hours. These boys have been raped. There's a 5-month-old on there who's had 3 orgasms. I don't know the times, there's a question mark. 11-month-old baby boy, 10 orgasms in 1 hour, right? So this table,
how would they know?
Come from, he actually used the work of pedophiles. He collected data from them, and they actually timed it with a stopwatch. that was part of the deal with the Kingsley pedophiles, was that they had a stopwatch. And I actually listened to the affidavit of a woman who was actually one of the children. This was a different table. She was a girl, obviously. So he had a table for girls as well. And she didn't realize she was one of the children until many years later. And her dad and her grandfather took her to Kingsley, and she met Kingsley, and he asked all these questions. He said, do you love your dad and your granddad? And she was like, yes, I do. And he was like, okay, well, you need to do the things that they've asked you to do. And so she said there was a stopwatch on the table, and he would record things down as he was going. And then when Kingsley's book came out, he came out to her and he said, I helped write this book. And so her testimony is used in court. Now, this table is actually from an amicus brief, which has been used in court in a sexual abuse scenario. So this isn't just off Wikipedia. This is from his book. This is from a legal document.
I've got the book here. I'll bring the book up.
They also mentioned that the children had convulsions.
He did. And he said that it was clear they enjoyed it, even though they were having convulsions and screaming and crying uncontrollably. He was a monster. So he did this work. He did it on girls as well.
Sexual behavior in the human male.
Coming up. Sexual behavior in the human male. And he has been touted in Hollywood as the man who liberated the homosexuals, right? So they've made a movie about him, but they did not mention his pedophilia past. He also worked with like a Nazi in World War II who was in Poland. And in international court, it came up the work of this Nazi and his relationship with Kingsley and how he reported back his findings to Kingsley of the sexual abuse he committed on Jewish children. Kingsley had quite a few disciples, and one of them was Hugh Hefner. Now, Hugh Hefner obviously is, one of the founders of the porn industry.
Yeah.
He was a huge fan of Kingsley's work, and actually they put pictures of men in bed with children, like boys or girls, tied up in bed throughout Penthouse, Playboy, and Hustler magazines. So it was desensitizing men over the years to the idea of having children in bed with men. Like, this has been a very slow march. And then obviously, child porn is a massive problem today.
Yeah.
And child trafficking is a huge problem today. But Kingsley's work is the foundation of the World Health Organization's sexuality guidelines and UNESCO, who is the education branch of the United Nations.
In Australia, in our curriculum, reference Kingsley's work and UNESCO's. They all cross-reference each other, so it can be linked to our curriculum.
And are they taught this in universities? Is this what's going on? Is this how the academics are thinking they're above us? They've got they're establishing a new morality. Is that how they're thinking of it? Like we're doing it, or that we're trapped by this old morality where we prehistorically like our children to have a childhood where they think Santa Claus exists, where their new reality is teaching kindergarten kids about anal sex and stuff like that.
Yeah, La Trobe University developed the Rainbow Tick Guide, which referenced Kingsley.
Yes.
Which
we also have a teacher training document for here in South Australia, and it also references the Kingsley Institute. So Kingsley actually started an institute in Indiana University, and there's actually a bronze statue of him at the University of Indiana. And so his work is continued on today, and it's completely dedicated to the study of sex. And they deny, oh, we didn't do that to children. but there is so much evidence for his work. And obviously they know if they get caught, they're in trouble.
Well, I have to say, I remember my mother has never been to a protest in her life, but about 30 years ago, her local Kmart in Perth started selling G-strings to like 9 and 10-year-olds, and she went and protested.
Good.
To 9 and 10-year-olds, she went and protested. This is a woman who's never gone against anything, and then she was there protesting. I was so proud of her. I couldn't actually believe it at the time. I was thinking, how did that get past? How do you sit at a meeting and go, hey, look, we've got this new range of G-strings for 9-year-old girls or 10-year-old girls? You're going, how could no one at that table go, you fucking kidding me?
Corporate
That's a
pedophiles.
little girl. I know.
They are.
They're, I think in 2016, there was a crackdown on the corporate pedophilia with classification on advertising companies. But I don't know what's happened now. They seem to slowly bring it back now. It's that's what it is. They're making money off the sexualization of children. It's corporate pedophilia.
So somewhere behind this, there are pedophiles that want sex with children normalized. So they can go through their life without being arrested. This is what's the driving force behind this. Powerful pedophiles
they have a lot of money.
Trying to normalize their behavior.
Yeah, they have a lot of money. And actually Playboy funded SECUS. So SECUS was the Sexual Information and Education Council of the United States. And through SECUS, sex education spread throughout the world. Playboy funded SECUS. So you just have to look at where the money is, right?
Who funded Kinsey?
He funded Kinsey. Yes. So, and Kinsey's, there's a lot of information on
as a bloke, I'll just tell you, as a bloke when I was growing up, Playboy was actually, if you say you're 15 or 16 and you're finally getting hold of them, Playboy was great because basically it was just boobs, bums, and a load of hair. And that was it. There was no sexual penetration, but there was no sexual penetration. There was some stories that you were trying to understand what they were talking about because you're a young guy. But that was sort of a soft way of getting in. Where now, of course, with these phones, everything's accessible to huge degrees, you know?
The kids look at it at school. And I was talking to someone who's a teacher, and she said that, the teachers have like a little alarm go off when a child's looking at porn in class. Wow. After sex ed class, she said it's just going ping, 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 because the websites that they're being told to look at lead to porn pages, and the stuff they're getting recommended to them. So what we found with the curriculum, and we've read the curriculum, right? We've actually got it from a teacher. Like they gave us the full curriculum. When you look at the resources, that's where the dark stuff is. So there's a website called Scarletine where they teach girls how to have lesbian sex, and they teach you that being a sex worker is an amazing job to have. We also found that on an Australian website. I don't know if I should name it.
Sorry. You just said they're teaching being a sex worker is an amazing job to have.
Yes, a respectable job to have. One of the websites that we looked at, this is made in Australia, right? It actually puts links up so you can go and register your name to sign up as a sex worker. And all of this stuff is in the disability section. So you go to the disability section and it tells you, there's a video on how to stick your tongue up someone's anus safely. Yeah. I'm like, I didn't need to see that. I watched that. I was like, I don't need to watch some video of someone putting their tongue in someone's anus.
But can you imagine, they say it's a respectable job to have. Bring me the parents. I want to meet the parents that when the son brings home his new girlfriend and they say to her, what you do? Go, oh, I'm a sex worker. See, here's my badge, and have them going, oh, that's great. It's just like, it's been forced upon us,
Absolutely.
I've challenged this as a classifier because a lot of the videos that they use in the classrooms have not been classified by the Australian Classification Board. So I've
My
challenged
God.
it with the Department for the Education and the Classification Office. Under the Classification Act, there's a table that has exemptions on classification for film and games. If the videos are likely to be M-rated and above, they must be classified, but they're not classifying them at all. That's the problem. And they're saying, well, the educational merit lowers the impact. The Department for Education keep denying that everything's age appropriate. But I've seen some of the videos. The problem is the online stuff. They use YouTube videos and whatever. They don't get classified through the classification boards. That would be the e-safety type stuff. But that still, what I've seen would be MA and R rated in equivalent, but they keep denying it. We even had a lady that we knew go into Shine SA, who's one of the third-party providers in South Australia, and she borrowed some books from the library, and one book had instruction to pedophilia. It went into good sex versus bad sex, and it had incest, rape, and pedophilia. It had things like the man is raping the woman. She is scared. She doesn't like it. Or the man is touching the boy between his legs. The boy is scared. That
Is this
should
like the
be
new Jack and Jill books, is it?
outright refuse classification.
Yeah.
It should be totally banned. But that book was actually written and published by New South Wales Family Planning. And because it's was written by a family planning and a government organisation, it's educational. And then they denied it being in any school, even though it was on the teacher resource list. They keep denying it.
Yep.
I
There's
feel like
nothing
you're
much I can
constantly
do. I
hitting
can't
me
classify
in the head
books,
with the
but-
bat. You know, it's so shocking. I'm watching the audience too. It's like, what? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, how did we get here? When I was in school,
Yes.
sex education, I remember we were about 15 and it was by a nun. And I remember, this is the lesson. I'll tell you, this is so funny. She was just glaring at us. You know, just glaring like this. And it was all the boys. And anytime she'd laugh, she'd be like, and it had a pencil drawing of a young man facing away, and the sheet, his head was on a pillow, the sheet covered his butt, and this is what it said. I'll never remember it. I'll never forget it. It said, some nights you'll wake up and there'll be a damp patch in the bed. Don't worry about it. It'll dry soon. Just roll over and go to sleep. And we were like, because we knew exactly what they meant. But that's where stage we were at. And then the night one was going crazy. That was it. That was our sex education. And most of us went on to have families. The gay guys figured out they were gay. We figured it out. And that's a journey we have. We sit around campfires and we go, oh, you remember that girl? You know, we have the funny stories. Then this is this. This is horrendous. This is stealing.
One of the videos.
Stealing our children's childhood. That's you're actually talking about.
It's the innocence of the children is being completely stripped from them. Yeah. One of the videos we found on Amaze, it has a video of a guy masturbating in bed, and you can see him like doing it. And then he gets the tissues, and you hear all these sounds, and and this is for young people, like 12, 13-year-olds, and girls or boys. There's a video for 9 to 12-year-old girls on what happens if you get pregnant. My question is, why is a 9-year-old pregnant? That's child abuse, right? Because 9-year-olds shouldn't be pregnant. But one of the options there is if you're 9 years old and you get pregnant, you can have an abortion. I'm like, you know what? We need to get parents involved in this instead of coming online and getting information. There's another video about abortion for 14-year-olds explaining how to self-manage your own abortion. I think that is incredibly irresponsible and very dangerous, because like I was talking to someone last week who said they've got photos of girls who've taken the chemical abortion pill and they're dead next to the toilet. Their baby's in the toilet. They've taken it at 8 months pregnant and have died from hemorrhage on the toilet. Now, we know we were going, we don't want backyard abortions. Well, we're back there. We've done a full circle. And now the girls can buy those things online without anybody knowing. And I just think that is so careless. It's dangerous. Why are we giving this information to our children?
It is dangerous. Well, you're teaching the kids from kindergarten all about sex. What do you think is going to happen when they're 14? They're going through they're doing a PhD at 14 on sex at that stage. You know what I mean? This is
I think it's
madness.
It's a conflict of interest. It is grooming.
It's grooming. That's what
grooming.
it is. It's absolute grooming. It's normalizing sex. It's grooming. Yeah.
I mean, even the
One of the
books,
things.
Go ahead,
books
Angela.
go into, the law, and when it comes to sexting and watching porn and everything like that. But then it will say things like, go watch interviews with your favorite porn performers and go to the sites they recommend. Or and then it might tell you about digital footprints and how to avoid, sexting harmfully. But then it will give examples on how to do it safely. So they just take the approach that they're assuming that children are sexually active, and they have to give more education, more information. That's how these loonies think. But they're introducing the problem. That's
yeah. By protecting them, and funnily enough, the curriculum's called Keeping Safe, and it's anything. It's not doing that. The statistics are
Don't
that
they love those
their
words?
mental health.
They love those words. Yeah,
they do. Safe and effective. The statistics on our kids are terrible. Their relationship satisfaction is poor. Their mental health is poor. Their academic achievement is poor. Their physical health
suicide
is
rate
poor.
is through the roof.
That's right. Like our kids are not okay. This is not working.
No, it's not.
If you stand back and have a look, the children are not okay. We need to change it.
Plus,
if you talk about changing it, you're a hateful bigot.
There are kids, sexually assaulting other kids in primary school ages now, and the amount of young boys who are sexually assaulting teachers, female teachers. So they're increasing the crime.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Apart from a nefarious reason, no. It doesn't make any sense from any other reason. If you're a parent, and we're all parents here. If we're a parent here, most of us know, unless we're sick in the head, that all we want for our children is for them to have the longest childhood they can. Because once they lose that innocence, they never get it back. That's it. That's why we hold off telling them Father Christmas isn't real until they sort of realize it themselves, because we just like them to be innocent. Yeah, there's this big fat safe guy who safe and effectively lands on your roof and brings you presents. It's not a bad thing to believe in. Until recently, I found out Father Christmas was invented by Coca-Cola to sell Coke in the summer.
Yeah.
Or in the winter. It's not actually traditional. It's an ad. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
I think the other thing that's problem with the schools is how the teachers, with the gender affirmations, they can actually socially transition your child without the parents knowing under duty of care.
Yeah.
Yes. So we've read policies in South Australia, and they'd be probably worse in Victoria. But in South Australia, the policies actually say that if a child comes to transition, that the school has the authority over the parents to transition them. The whole school has to go along with it. All the paperwork gets changed. That child can use the new toilets, the new change rooms, participate in sports without the parents knowing. That's actually in the policy. And half of the MPs don't even know it. I sat with my MP. I printed these policies off and I highlighted them. And I said to him, look at this. And it says whether the child is 9 or 16. So it's not like an older child. It could be a 9-year-old saying, I think I'm a whatever. And this whole school has to go along with it. We don't let children get tattoos. We don't let them smoke or drink or get married or vote or drive a car or, or operate some machinery. There's so many things that we don't let children do for a reason.
Yeah.
And transitioning, and they actually say in there they'll make medical appointments for them. But without the parents' knowledge, they will make medical appointments. Social transitioning always comes before medical transitioning. So they're literally starting the transitioning process at school without the parents' permission. And that leads on to, decisions that sometimes you cannot change. If you take puberty blockers, there are things that you cannot change once you've started walking down that road. And listening to the detransitioners is heartbreaking. They've got all these medical issues and problems with their kidneys and their bladder and, simple things. They should be down the beach at summer. They're not. They're in the doctor's room for another infection. They've got a lifetime of medical reliance. And Big Pharma, like they become a client of Big Pharma for the rest of their life. We should not be subjecting children to that.
I just want to show you something I saw the other day, and I saved it because it was just the lies in it, how they were saying puberty blockers and stuff were safe. So I'll just play this. It doesn't go for very long. Let's see if I get it up. Let's see if I can make it bigger. How's that? Okay, let's have a look at this. So this is what our young, I don't know if they're watching here. This is from Gays Against Groomers.
There's no one-size-fits-all puberty experience. If you're trans, intersex, or non-binary, know that you're not the only one feeling confused. For some intersex people, puberty may start later than age 14. You might experience some of puberty's changes and not others, and your body may or may not go through puberty on its own. There are medicines you can take to help your body start.
I was going to say, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can? Okay, great. Let's keep going.
The process, like hormone replacement therapy. Some people decide on hormones or surgeries to help their bodies match up to their gender identity or how they feel inside about themselves. Your gender identity is real. You should be the one to decide what changes you want to make to your body. If you're transgender or non-binary, you may find that your puberty experiences don't line up with your gender identity or how you see yourself. That feeling can be uncomfortable, scary, and stressful. If that sounds like you, know that you're not alone. There are medicines you can take to delay puberty for a while. They're called puberty blockers, and they work like a stop sign by halting the hormones testosterone and estrogen that cause puberty changes like facial hair growth and periods. Puberty blockers are safe and can give you more time to figure out what feels right for you, your body, and your gender identity. You don't have to have all of the answers right now. So remember, it's all a work in progress, and it may take time to figure out what feels right to you, but talking to a trusted adult and a nurse or doctor may help. Want to learn more? Go to PlannedParenthood.org/teens.
Planned Parenthood.
So that was it.
Yeah.
The thing like what they were saying about puberty blockers are safe, they're not safe.
No.
They're not safe.
They're the same.
The ban now in England, they're banning them. They're not safe. So this
They're
is
the
the
same medicines
ideology
they gave
going
pedophiles.
nuts, isn't it?
They're the same medicines they give pedophiles to medically castrate them.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, and
So
old men who
yeah.
have prostate cancer, they give it to them, and literally it shrivels up the gonads. So the testes or the ovaries, it literally shrivels them into little sultanas, and you don't ever get that back. Puberty is a force of nature. Like
Absolutely.
it is designed to turn you from a child into an adult, a woman, a girl into a woman, a boy into a man. So to interfere with that powerful process actually affects the brain, it affects the bones, it affects the development of a normal, healthy adult. And to steal that from children is just despicable. I think it's absolutely despicable.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's absolutely horrendous. I mean, I have a load of doctors now who we work with. All of them agree that they're terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's
so
just
sad.
the normalization and we have another one who I don't know if she's watching the show now, Kate and Miss Lister, and she calls herself Bull Dyke. She said she knew she was lesbian from really early on, and I've met other ones that say the same, and gay guys that knew they were gay from the beginning. This transitioning is almost an attack on them, saying you're not gay, you're probably
Yeah.
meant to be a woman, or you're not a lesbian, you're not you're meant to be a man, and they're not.
Yeah.
They're actually naturally just gay. That's how it is. And so
Well,
there's a
the
big
yeah.
movement in that community to also stop it. Yeah.
Yes, the United Nations, one of the heads of the United Nations just released a report like yesterday saying that this whole trans thing is actually removing women completely. It's,
Wow.
we don't have pregnant women, we have pregnant people, and it's
Mm.
like women are being completely erased from
Yeah.
existence.
They don't have
And
breastfeeding, they have
yeah,
chest feeding because they don't want to upset,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah. I
And
had
see,
a
that's half the population. we
There was a-
matter. Our voices matter.
There was a nurse
We're
that spoke to
women.
me at one of my talks about a year ago, and she said that a nurse in prison, and she had to refer to, she did just a check down below on the female, but she wasn't allowed to call it what it is. She had to call it a front hole or bonus hole. I can't remember. It was something ridiculous. A gynecologist. So, just let women be women. Call it what it is. Why do we have to be so politically correct? It's wrong. A bonus hole.
Can
If
I
someone
just
calls
say you?
it to me, I'll slap them.
I did I was so shocked by it. I'll just play this. But this got me banned off Facebook, so I'll probably get banned again now. But I did this one. It's called how to. It's about saying dinosaurs still exist and how to lure them out of the shadows. So I'll just see if it plays. But I can't believe it's still on Facebook. It got me
Now, a
in
lot
too
of
much
people
trouble.
think that dinosaurs are extinct, but I've recently discovered that they're still out there hiding, and you can find them if you actually call out the real calls, and they'll call back. And the best calls to do are some of the more interesting posts on social media. So watch this one. Watch. I'll show you. Watch. I saw this post 2 days ago. Breastfeeding should be changed to chest feeding so that we don't insult the people that can't breastfeed. Now listen. Only women breastfeed. Hear that? I think it's a pterodactyl.
Now we took the piss because it was such a joke. I was banned for about 3 weeks
Yeah,
or something like
because
that.
it's
for that.
offensive.
So I can't. Yeah, but it's offensive. Like this other thing they do. I just do it here now. We're on. They go, "How do you define a woman?" Now, what I say,
Yeah.
the answer to that is that question is a question that should never be asked because it's offensive to your mother, to your mother's mother,
Yeah.
and every other woman who has gone through hell so that you can exist. So
Absolutely.
that's not that question was answered eons back. It's
Yeah.
to say it's like a woman can be like some accessory you can buy from IKEA is just
I know.
so deeply insulting to all the women you
It
love,
truly is.
including your daughters.
It truly is. Like having a baby, it is a defining moment in a woman's life because you realize you made a person,
I
and you
know.
grew that person. You push that person out, and you're like, I'm a freaking legend.
Yeah.
I just made a human being.
Is that how you felt, Angela? Angela, is that how you felt?
Oh, yes. By the time I had the third one, there was a sneeze and a cough, but it was fantastic. No, I had 3 under 3. So
Wow.
but it was an amazing, painful experience, but incredible. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, I was there for the birth of both of mine, and the first one was ended up being an emergency Caesar because he got stuck. But I remember after watching it all, and then Rahana said, "Okay, I want to call him this." I was thinking, after what you've been through, you can call him whatever you want. It's like, I am so glad I'm a man, because that
Yeah.
that was just
It's hard
unbelievable.
work.
It was
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
work, you know.
Yeah, and
yet,
breastfeeding is hard work. You know, and every month, you know, this is the experience of womanhood. You know, and you
yeah,
start getting your period, you're worried that you get something on your pants and everyone can see it. And you know, guys, you are just never gonna understand that, you know, like, or having period pain or going through menopause. Like we connect in a different way to guys, you know, like we connect with other women differently and we talk about different stuff. We're just so different, but together we're awesome. You know, like a man and a
you
woman
are.
together are
Well, let's take
a
toilets,
powerful
right?
team.
Now, you
Mm.
women, if I say Kelly and I and you three went out and we had a couple of fellas with us. So me and your fellas would go, okay, the girls are going to the toilet. Let's go to drink, play a game of pool. There'll be a while. Because I don't know, there's a waiting list, or I don't know what happens now. I don't want to know. That's women's space. Us men, we never talk in toilets. We just go in, do
Yeah.
it out. That's it. It is just a tool. There's never, maybe the gay guys are different, but you know, but the most straight guys, it's just in, look at it, do it, go out, go out. And the only issue I have is every time I'm at an airport, there's no fucking taps, and you've just come off the plane, you're really tired, and
Yeah.
going, I don't want to learn how to fucking like a puzzle on how to get water. Just give me a fucking tap, you know, because you're going like
We have that problem.
trying to get the water to work. But that's it. But even then, you don't ask. You don't even ask the other guy, how do you do the taps? You don't. All of you just sit there going, try to figure it out. We
How
don't
would you
talk.
feel?
That's the politics of the different toilets. It just
Yeah.
is.
How would you
You
feel
know?
if a biological female went into a male toilet then?
Do you know what? I think it'd be quite a novel. It'd be weird, but it'd be sort of like, I don't think it's the same way as the other way. It'd be like, oh, she's having a fun. She's a bit this, she's a bit of a nut or whatever. But I have a friend, Forsh, and he's got a 12-year-old girl, and he's Italian. And she was in a toilet where a man came in this, and he's going to the head of the shopping center and pushing it further. He's not letting it go. And he's doing that because inside he's ready to make sure the guy uses a disabled toilet for the rest of his life because he's got no choice. That's how angry he is. Because the thing is, you know, I've got a son, I've got a daughter, but my daughter, it's a different relationship with the man and women because you know, not all men, but there are men out there who are bad. That's why when you hear women talking about, I should have the right to walk through a park at 3 o'clock in the morning if I want to. Yes, you do. And if there's good men there, you're safe. But if these bad guys, they don't care about your human rights. They don't care about any of that. They're scum. And that's it. And if they're stronger than you, they'll hurt you. That's just harsh reality. You know what I mean? So this is, it's like there's a reality we can see around us, and that's why we protect our children. I mean, I see you two as two grizzly bear mums, and you adore your children, and here's society coming in trying to basically corrupt their morality, and here's Angela standing up. You know, she's come from nowhere. She's becoming a force of nature, and so are you, Rachel. It's a beautiful thing, but this is nature. You're protecting your children. We just happen to be protecting our children from the state, which is mad.
Yes. And from the World Health Organization. I'll read this to you.
Oh, do you want that paragraph brought up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The World Health Organization. Wait for it to come up.
Is that it? Can we read that?
Okay, so this last paragraph, it says the development of sexual behavior, feelings and cognitions begins in the womb and continues throughout a person's life. How do they know that a baby has sexual feelings and behavior in the
Angela, when you're told that sexual behavior and feelings of sexual behavior start in the womb. What are your thoughts? Because you've had you've had 3 people in your womb. Now, I don't know if they were watching porn in or having sex swinger parties.
I have no
but
idea how they think that. No idea. I wouldn't even know. They
Yeah,
don't. They don't.
What have they done? An ultrasound on a baby while it's masturbating? They haven't. They don't know that. I've had 5 children. Not
5.
one of them.
Oh, congratulations.
Sexual.
What's that? What was that last thing you said? I was still shocked by 5. What was the last thing you said?
Oh, I said not one of them came out sexual. It actually says here on the next page, children have sexual feelings even in early infancy. No, they don't. And I
No,
would
they don't.
look the World Health Organization in the eyes and tell them to their face because they're wrong. Babies
No, they're
are
wrong.
not sexual. They have sexual organs, but they're not using that's not awakened in them.
No.
So
There's
they're
no
not
comprehension
sexual
of it.
beings. That's what pedophiles say. Pedophiles
Yeah.
say that babies are sexual. And that's the
That's the
World
beautiful
Health
thing.
Organization.
Don't you think if you're on the beach or some of the beautiful thing, you got like a 3-year-old and they're walking around naked, and that's nothing sexual at all.
No.
They're just so unaware of social norms now
No.
that they're kind of free, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Let's just finish this though. Precursors of later sexual perception, such as the ability to enjoy physical contact, are present from birth. Well, that is obviously written by a pedophile. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
It's
The
based on
sexual and
Kingsley's
personal
work.
development of human being is especially marked by 4 core area fields of experience, which are experienced at a very young age in relation to the child's own needs, body, relationship, sexuality. Could the child develop a basic trust that his or her hunger and thirst will be responded to, and physical closeness be safe? Physical closeness and safety be provided for.
So there's actually, if you go further down, there's like a matrix of like kind of what should be happening at what age for children, and in the
Is that
0
on another
to
page?
4-year-old category,
Do you know
it's
what page that
on
is?
page 38.
Yeah, okay. You do
It actually says for 0 to 4-year-olds, it says that babies should have enjoyment and pleasure when touching one's own body and engaging in early childhood masturbation. So they're saying that babies should be masturbating. And we know what they're talking about because Kingsley's, his table 34 has the orgasms recorded of babies. This is where this is coming from. The WHO references studies that are involving Kingsley's work.
I don't know how they recorded the orgasms of babies. I don't even know if it's even physically possible.
So that
It's disgusting.
I'm almost got it up. Yeah, I just can't comprehend.
It's not like a little boy can ejaculate at that age. Like I don't understand.
I think it must be about maybe this one. I'm just
Well,
trying
it
to
said
find
that.
Because little boys get
Did you
little
say page
erections, doesn't mean
38?
they're sexual. It's just it's just something that happens. And they touch themselves, but it's not because of sexual pleasure.
Yeah, of course.
Well, they've been sexually abused, and so it's different when someone's deliberately and intentionally trying to get you to that point. And it actually makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
Yeah.
Just thinking about that. And I think about those children. Where were their mums and dads? And it wasn't their mums and dads doing it to them. Like, it's the most gut-wrenching, disgusting thing to think about. But we actually wanted.
Okay, I've got it. I'll have it for you in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I just got the page here. Bear with me. Here it is. Okay, get ready for a horror fest, people. I'll just get this up. God, I'm in shock. You know, I knew this stuff
Oh.
was going on, but when you hear it, you're just like, and these people that are doing this, like our politicians, the teachers, the principals, they have children, and they can't
I
all
know.
be sexual deviants. So they must really believe this, or they're scared of losing their
Yes.
job. So they're more concerned about their own well-being than they are of a child. So let's
I
see.
think there's
this
a lot of people that don't want to believe it's this bad. And
Yeah.
granted, there might be a couple of teachers or a couple of schools here and there that won't go into such detail, but
Let's see if this works. Does that
yeah,
work?
That's
yeah,
it.
it's up.
Is that
Yep.
is that it?
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
So when it comes,
one of you read it out. Yeah.
when it gets down to sexuality in the middle of the page,
So
it
this is
says
kids
enjoyment
0 to
and
4 years old. This is someone
0 to
from
4. A baby, early childhood masturbation. This is from the World Health Organization, right?
who we've just
And I think,
handed
like,
over our sovereignty to.
Yes.
We've signed up for this.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, and
That's what we
part
signed
of
up
the
for. Good on you,
problem,
Albo.
right?
This is it. We're going to teach our
Yeah.
babies how to masturbate. Good on you, mate.
Yeah, well, Albo, Prime Minister's literary awards. You know, he gave an award out for a pornographic book recommended for 8-year-olds. So
Yeah, I
that
heard
welcome
that.
to sex book. So
And he
Yeah,
just
have you
gave a
seen that one?
podcaster an interview, and the podcaster called for the assassination of Donald Trump. And Albo's going to be interviewed by her. So, yeah.
Oh, that girl. You mean
Yeah.
Abby? Oh,
I
Oh.
don't know her name. She's a nutter. She's nuts. Yeah.
I saw that.
And
I saw that.
so what else have we got here?
So-
There's
if you
so
go
from 4 years
further
old,
along-
gain an awareness of gender identity by 4.
why? Just play with your
4.
trucks and your trains and in the sandpit and dig a hole and, learn to ride your bike.
Leave the
You
dog
don't have to
alone.
worry.
Pulling the dog's tail. Don't pick the cat up by its ears. Just stuff like that.
Yes.
Talk about
they've got-
pleasurable feelings in one's own body at 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it gets worse because they actually talk about like sexual feelings from the ages of 4 to 6, sexual feelings as a part of human feelings, and they're talking about secret loves. Now, is that to protect them or is that to nurture the
The
idea?
only secret love you
Do you
should
get what
have
I'm
at 4
saying?
years old is for red cordial, because your mother won't let you have
Yeah.
it. That's I'm
That's
sorry.
right.
Mum would never let me have red cordial. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
see why.
It says here from the ages of 6 to 9, choices about parenthood and pregnancy. It's for 6 to 9-year-olds. Why do they have to make choices about parenthood and pregnancy when they're 6 years old?
You got to remember, a lot of
Basic
these kids
ideas
are
of
actually growing up in
contraception.
daycare centers.
Yeah.
So, and I
And look
believe
at
in
what's
some
happening in
daycare, they teach this in
childcare.
daycare centers. That's what I've heard. Gender studies and stuff. I don't know if that's true, but I have heard that.
The ideas around it, like it might not be as explicit in the childcare centres, but certainly leading up to those conversations that, one of the ladies we work with, she says more is caught than taught. So there's this culture, this way of thinking, and the kids pick that up, even if you haven't sometimes explicitly said it. They're talking about ejaculation with 6 to 9-year-olds. I have an 8-year-old son. He's turning 9 on Friday. He doesn't know about ejaculation. He doesn't need to. He doesn't even know that's a thing, right? Let's get our minds out of this stuff.
Can I just ask
and teach
Angela?
them
I just want to bring Angela in for a sec. Angela, how have you not got seriously soul depressed tackling this when you're dealing with such idiots. I mean,
I
people
think I
who are
get more
thoroughly
angry.
removed. What's that?
I'm more angry. I started off very angry, and
There's
when
like
my
holes in all your walls and like dents in your doors and stuff where you're just
I
smashing
got a
things.
punching
Or
bag. I got a punching bag, but you get to the point where you just right. I can't be angry anymore. I really just have to be focused, take action, and be serious now because I mean, when my daughters were at primary school, my oldest one, when she was 11 years old, came home, and my girls are very young for their age in mentally, and they have a big imagination. So, a few months earlier, she'll be telling me about the tooth fairy and how excited she was. And then she comes home one day and says, oh, we saw a video about the, changing bodies, and she was giggling and everything. I said, what's going on? And she said, Mum, did you know that boys' penises go hard? And I thought, they didn't even give me permission to, I didn't think she was mentally ready to see that. And she was 11 years old.
Mm.
She doesn't need to see a male erection or know what that is. And, and that's one of the things that sort of snapped me out of it. And then there was another time when she said she came home, because my girls are on the spectrum, highly intelligent girls, but she said, Mum, I think I'm supposed to be a boy. But that was because she was a bit of a tomboy. And then all the other stuff of COVID, mask wearing, and I just pulled them right out of school. It didn't click to me straight away where it was coming from. And then when I was homeschooling and I had to go through the curriculum, that's when I started to understand and everything. Now my girls are in high school. The oldest one is 16. They're doing really well. They go to a good Christian school, and I sat down with that school. And not all Christian and Catholic schools will be less explicit, but mine is. We're really happy with the way they're teaching, but Michael's disappeared. But we can, they just learn what I'm comfortable them participating in. Michael, where have you gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. But so I'm looking at.
We can talk about what we're.
Yeah, the International Coalition.
Yeah, we can talk about what we're doing, because we want to not just sit and whinge about it. We want to do something about it. So we've actually formed an international coalition of people from all over the world who are doing the same thing as us. And we've got together, we've got some amazing people in our team, and we're actually going to be challenging the World Health Organization about the things they've written down about our children. And the United Nations as well. We want to challenge both of them. They're the same. What do we say? We say same butt, different butt cheek. It's the same thing. But, so we actually want to, confront these ideas and these concepts and things they've written down about our kids, because we don't agree with them. And we want biology only taught in school, and leave all of the sex and relationship training to the families. And you might say some people won't teach it. That's true. Some people might not teach it, but it's actually not the job of a government or a department or a school to train a child morally. And it's the job of the family to do that. And whether the family accepts that challenge or not is not the point. It's the role of the family, and we want it to be given back to the family. It's been taken away and we want it back. So that's what we're doing with our International Coalition for Children. We're here to be a voice.
We have an online petition that people can sign. The website's here. This is what the website is, internationalcoalitionforchildren.org. And we are a grassroots movement. We don't have a lot of funding, but there's also a donate button if anyone could help us out. we're with the petition. I remember Rachel 6 months ago, she was saying, I want to do this petition and take it to the WHO. And I said, all right, well, with a petition, are we just going to collect data, or are we going to physically present it? And she said, no, let's actually go there and try to get into the WHO. And I said, all right, well, I'm coming with you. I'm going to ring the doorbell when we get there. So, we're planning a trip this year to...
No,
America's back.
Starlink and Starlink wouldn't work. And then I went to a hotspot on my Telstra. That wouldn't work either. So both went down. So I think upsetting somebody.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I think we're over the target. They don't know your emails, but they've got a pretty hot spot on mine, so they must have just.
Oh no, they know mine.
Yeah, they know yours.
I've been.
But that's what we're up against.
Like
we're up against this huge behemoth that really wants to do this to our children. I mean, we're not fighting just some crazy lunatic politician. We're fighting someone really pushing this, and then below them is this army of morally weak people who are just staying silent and letting it go through because they don't want to upset anyone. They don't want to get in trouble. That's how this is happening. I mean, basically what we're talking about now, and I'm not overly religious, but we're talking about the work of the devil. This is a spiritual war.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have a PhD in gender studies to know that you don't teach a 4-year-old how to masturbate.
Yeah, masturbate.
You don't. You just don't need it.
No,
they don't.
When you were gone, we were talking about our international coalition and what we're planning to do and everything.
We've got big plans actually, and
Let's go. We've got Robin shows at 9:30. So you tell me where we're going from here and how anyone can help and do things. Thanks, Kelly, for standing in. Why don't you stay on the show, Kel? There's go ahead. Tell us what you're doing. I'll shut up from now.
Well, we did just talk about it, but we're actually going to go to Washington DC. And we have got
both of you.
Yep. With a team, with an international team, we've got this fearless group of lawyers from Wales. We've got sex educators who used to teach this stuff and then realized what they were doing and went, "Oh my gosh, that needs to stop."
Wow.
We've got amazing international journalists. We've got this incredible team who know their stuff, and we are going to the World Health Organization, and we're going to do some stuff. We're not giving it all away yet, but we're going to put a lot of pressure.
This is something that Trump would just go, "No, you're not doing it." This is kind of what Trump would do.
Yep.
He'd go, "No, you're not doing that. No, get rid of it." It'd be interesting to get it in front of him.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's our website.
International.
So,
Angela, can you put that? I think you've got it here. Actually, I'll put it up.
Yep, it's on the
private
chat.
chat. So what are you looking for? Oh no, it's not that. Could you just put it up again in the private chat, Angela? Because it died, I lost it. And so people can get in hold of you through that.
Yeah.
Yes, they can. There's an email there. They can reach out as well. We do have Facebook and Instagram. It's still launching, so we're still getting information on. And there is a donate button if you're wanting to contribute in some way, because we're going overseas. So obviously there's a lot of costs involved in that. And we're pushing back in some very specific ways, particularly related to the foundation of this, like Kingsley's work. And we are talking with people in the White House.
Yes.
So I will say that.
Yeah.
So,
and what are they
this
saying?
Is not just
is it Republicans or Democrats or is it both? What sort of feedback are you getting from them?
Either, both. Yeah, we want to get to the core of this. We want to expose the darkness of it on an international level. So because when you see how gross it really is, most people go, well, that's disgusting. I don't want my child having any part to do with that. At the moment, they're told it's because of love, it's because of acceptance and tolerance and all that stuff. That's not where this is coming from. This is evil. Like, this is dark. And people need to understand that to protect their kids.
Yeah.
So we've got big plans.
Great.
But not yet. Yeah, so
Can I ask, have
we're
you
going
talked
for
to
it.
the
And
churches at all? I'd really like to know, what do the churches think about this? Like, you know, not that the Catholic Church doesn't have a great history with pedophilia and stuff, but they said they cleaned up their act, but there must be some pushback from the churches.
some of the churches are great. Some of the churches don't want to know a bar of it, and it upsets me. You know, I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. Like, your children are in public
That's
school.
your job.
That's right. Like,
You're supposed to be
politically
involved. To be called names.
What's that, Angela? They don't want to be directly involved?
They don't want to be politically involved. They think it's a political issue, and it's not. It's more than that.
No, this is a moral issue.
Yes,
that's right.
A moral decay. You know, that's
absolutely
what this is.
It is moral decay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, even if you look at things on a spiritual level or religious level in the Bible, I mean, Jesus was crucified by his own government back in the day. They can't say they can't be politically involved.
Yeah. Yes. And if
I
we don't
can't
deal
believe
with
we're
this
having
now,
this conversation. I just can't believe at this age we're having this conversation. You've said so many things today.
It's horrific.
That is just horrific. And you just despair for our children, because at some point they might look back and go, why didn't you guys stop this? Why did you let this happen?
That's why we're doing this. Because I do not want our children to turn around and say, why didn't you stand up for us? We want the kids to know we tried. We did everything we could to help you, to save you. Do you know that? And if we die on this hill, okay. But we gave our lives to help protect you, you know, and so that you could, you know, if we don't do anything about this in 15, 20 years time, what does society look like? Like chaos.
Yeah.
Absolute chaos.
And how far can they go? What are they going to do then? You know, where they're going, because they're going to push it further. What are they going to do? You know, to teach, you know, shove sexual toys up the womb to say, you know, start exploring, baby. You know, I mean, it's just madness. I know that sounds crazy, but this is how insane it is. You've both been talking about babies in the womb having sexual feelings. I mean,
it's
preposterous.
We need to do something.
So we need to stand up.
I'd love to have someone come on. I know we've got a troll here. I'd love to have someone come on from the other side and prove us wrong. Please, prove us wrong. Show us why. Oh, and then we sit there and Angela could go, oh, actually, you're right. Now I regret not teaching my 3-year-old how to masturbate. You know what I mean? It's just show us how we're wrong, and we'll try to keep a straight face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I say that to people. I'm like, prove to me I'm wrong. Because I've got the data, I've got the information, I've got document after document after document. You can go find online and have a read off for yourself. Like the proof is in the pudding. Look at our kids. Our kids are not okay. They've got all these ideas in their heads that they never had a decade ago.
No.
We've got good links on our websites for the information that we've spoken about tonight. But also, I mean, with the talking to people, I've been door knocking with my South Australian petition on the books. And, you know, I went past one lady's house who lives about 15 meters away from a school, and she was saying that she thought porn was good for kids. And I was talking also about one of the books had bestiality in it, and that book was removed from the libraries. But she said, you know, she was all for bestiality, and I was looking at her dogs, and I'm thinking, poor dogs. She wanted to legalize it. So but
She wants to
started
legalize
open-
bestiality.
Yeah, she's for legalizing bestiality. And, you know, this is how loony it is. But then she started to open up saying, you know, when I was younger and there was trauma, and then she stopped. I think there's a lot of childhood trauma with those sorts of people. They need mental health help, not.
Yes.
There's, you know,
And did
she
you
started
hear
to say,
about-
"Oh, humans we're animals, and animals can consent." And it took every ounce I had not to say anything nasty, because I was on her front door. That's how. But that's only one person out of so many people. A lot of people were so unaware, but they were so happy that I was doing something, taking some sort of action with the books and getting signatures. Some are very skeptical. Yeah, good on you for doing what you're doing. You're not going to get anywhere. I don't care. At least I'm doing something.
No, don't listen to that. That's
No.
that's them. That's them giving themselves a reason not to stand up. They quit before they even try. It's
There's
the whole a
mistrust of
lot
the
of
government.
countries doing that. No, don't listen to them. They're wrong.
People are just have lost hope of any change. You know, so we're just going to give it a go. You know, and you know, I'm really looking forward to our trip to DC. And Rachel and I, about a month ago, we went to Perth. We spoke at Church and State event, and that was awesome. So we're flying around and doing events across South Australia, and Perth was the furthest that we had to fly, but that was incredible, you know. So,
well, can I ask you a question, Angela? I'll ask you a question, and this is aimed at the people who are saying there's nothing you can do. How has your life changed from the, and I'll ask you next as well, Rachel, so have a think about it. How has your life changed, Angela, from when you made the decision, okay, I'm going to do something about this? What has been the negatives and the positives in your life?
Well, the positive thing, I see the petition as a way of, I've grown as a person. When I first did my deputation, I was so scared of public speaking and talking to a lot of people. I remember the first time I met you at the Adelaide event with Marie Z and the free media event, and I was so shy. I was very shy. I didn't want to approach. I didn't know how to.
And I was dressed as a hippie.
And yes, I sat next to you at that event, and you know, it was very hard for me to public speak, and this is creating opportunities for myself. I mean, I'm also the public officer now. This, you know, international coalition, and it's just changed me as a person, and it's drawn me closer to God. I've actually found myself praying more, and you know, it's just been an incredible. I've just grown as a person, and I know that my girls, they know it's not just for them; it's for the community, but it's also for one day when they grow up, when I have grandchildren. I'm doing it for my future family line, and I'm giving it all I can. And I've, you know, it's so self-rewarding.
You're also doing it for humanity itself.
Yes.
Because they're trying to alter humanity where we lose our morality. And even though we don't always follow our morality, but if the majority do, or try to strive for what we know in our souls is correct, because in all of our souls, we have a compass that points towards right or wrong. And teaching kids to masturbate, that's, if you think that's right, you're ignoring the compass in your soul or your F in the head. So you're doing what's right for humanity. That's, you know, as well.
A woman could be nagging, but if you upset a mother, watch out, because we can get fired up.
Yeah, I know. Rachel, you're same. And this is for people who are thinking, could I do this? Could I join you? But how have you sort of, the negatives and the positives, how have you changed as a human being from finally deciding, okay, I'm gonna tackle this. This is the hill I'm gonna die on.
You know, honestly, there's people that don't talk to me, and you know, they see me in the supermarket, they run the other way, and I haven't been mean to them. They just don't like what I've said, and I had the whole region talking about me, And that's something that I had to accept. And I do think anyone who's going to engage in this space needs to say, do you know what, I'm not going to be loved by everyone, and that's okay. And so that's something I just had to accept. But there's this part of me that is fired up, like I've got fire in my belly, and I'm like, I can't stop. I can't stop for the children's sake. And I look at my children, and I can see the effect of this earlier, because it was a bit more like covert, kind of a bit before my older children were affected by it. Absolutely. And I don't want that for any person's child. One of my children was sexually abused at school after sex ed, and multiple times.
Wow.
And I
By
don't want
kid.
that from another student. And that ended up going to the Department of Child Protection. The police got involved, and that child ended up being asked to leave the school. But
yeah, but this,
I said
this poor kid, they're teaching him. Do you know what I mean? They're saying this is normal, this is great, this is this. And then when he does what they teach him, he's kicked out of the school. So you're fucking him up as well.
That's exactly right. This had happened with multiple children from this other student. So I know this is happening in so many schools. I have parents telling me stuff that children are abusing each other. This must stop. Yeah. The children are hurting each other. The adults are hurting the children. It just needs to stop. And we need to bring families back together. And I guess it has changed my relationships, but the people who
your life will be enriched by the warriors you'll meet. Believe
that's
me.
Right. That's right. And we've met a different drive.
I lost literally everyone after my stand. All my friends, all gone.
Yeah.
But you meet other warriors in the trench.
You do.
And the relationships you would have with them are deeper and stronger, more robust. Even though you'll argue about things, it's on a different level. Because what we're in, girls, is we're in a renaissance. We got an exodus is happening. The era of she'll be right is over, because by not talking about anything that matters, we've got to a point where this rich country is broke, and they're teaching our babies how to masturbate because we did nothing. And now we're rising up bit by bit, one by one. We're standing up and going, okay, no, fuck off. This is
find your people.
And and I can see it in Angela when she first came on the Cardi Girls. I was watching her. I thought, yes, that's why when you contacted me again, I thought, great. And the platform's yours. If you guys want to come back on at any point to do updates, the platform's yours.
Yes.
This is what we're doing. It's about discussion. And it's even the fact that we're having these ridiculous discussions is because we're emerging from a philosophical desert where you didn't talk about you just talked about renovations, football, and stupid reality shows, and now here we are talking about things that really matter. And what you're going to do, both of you, and I'm saying this to you, Angela and Rachel, what you're going to do is, if you keep going, others will join you. You're going to be the architects of the new future. The suffragette movement became the feminist movement. Little groups that other people were scared of actually forcibly bring about change. And we've had so much bad change that now the balance is going the other way. And people who are going to bring about good, wholesome change are fighting back. And that's what both of you are doing. So I applaud both of you. And
thank you.
I'd hate to be anyone who got between either of you and your kids.
Mama Bear.
I can see it. I can see.
Thank you for letting us.
Oh, no worries. This is what we got to have. Everyone's so scared. Oh, don't say this. You might offend the pedophile. They just had a pedophile in the kindergarten here or the day school. Yeah. They're testing 1,000 kids for sexually transmitted disease. How much access did this guy have to these kids? How did he
It's
possibly get in?
horrific.
Yeah.
He got
I'm
these working with children checks. What do they do? I mean, come on, it's
yes,
and he's not
yes,
he's not alone. There's been another one caught. He's just
no,
one. Yeah,
yep,
amazing.
yep. It's
I'm going to let you
horrible.
go. I'll
It's
let Rachel,
Yep.
you have your say of anything you want to say to the public of this, and I'm going to finish and let Angela have a say, and then I'm going to play my song again. Go
we
ahead,
would love for
Angela.
you to
Anything
join
you'd
us.
like to Rachel,
Yeah.
anything you want to say to the country, go ahead.
Me? Well,
Yeah,
I'll go.
Rachel,
We would
sorry.
love
Yeah.
for you to join us. Go to the website and sign the declaration that we've got there saying parents need to be the ones teaching the kids about this stuff and not the
100%.
World Health Organization. We would love your support and don't be scared.
I'm just putting the website up again. It's
Yep.
there. It is. If you want to click on that and find out more about what these ladies are doing. Angela, you take us out. Anything that you want to say to anyone who thinks they're going to stop you or anyone you want to inspire? Do a
Look,
public speaking inspirational rant.
people don't have to do what we're doing, public speaking, podcasts. Speak to one person at a time. Have the conversations. Don't be afraid, because there's more of us that would agree with and who think quite normally. And if it's your thing, write emails to your members of parliament. We've got the links on our websites. All the information's there. So we're not just making it up. I mean, we saw what was on the share screen as well. And if you're a parent, talk to your teachers at your child's school and ask them, what are you showing my kids? Can I see the curriculum? Simple.
That it? That's pretty good. Look, I'm big fans. The platform is, we're a community of podcasters now. So Donna is watching for Mantra's Moments. She'd probably want you on as well. Feel free to use all our podcasters if they want to bring you on. And good luck. Even when you go to America, we'd love to hear, even if you do it live from America, the fact that you're both in Adelaide, you're both from South Australia?
South Australia.
I'm in South Australia.
So 2 mothers from South Australia are going to America to try save our kids from this pedophile bullshit. That's historic. That's historic. It is. Yeah, it is. Okay, I wrote this song. It's from a musical of mine that was put on in Ballarat. In this thing, there's a young girl. She's about 13, 14. And she's in love with this young homeless support worker called Magpie. And but she's just realized Magpie's found the love of his life because he's too old for her. And she's outside. It doesn't work in this, but she's getting really angry dancing. And Magpie doesn't know what to do. And so he sings her this song saying that the world is waiting for you. And if you listen to the words now, I put it with this, I just got these dancing, girls dancing for everywhere now. But the message of the song now is offering hope to our young people. And that the hope can't just be silly hope. The hope is based on the fact that there are people like you two fighting to make a better Australia. And because of that, there's always hope. As long as one person stands up and fights for what they know is right, there is always hope. And that's what you're doing. You're torchbearers now, light workers, army of light, all the bullshit I ran on about. And it's been joyous having you on. I'm very honored to have you on. Thank you. And we've had a few trials, but they can go get stuffed. And so this is it. It's called The Lonely Ballerina. Take care. See you, girls.
Thank you.
Things change, things do up ahead. writing isn't written yet. This evening is only a paint. In the morning, your writer will begin again.
The ink you breathe is never dry, and you won't predict your course, no matter how hard you try.
And while there will be more frustration and pain,
There will also be joy, fortune, and love.
up ahead and just out of view, the world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you.
Up ahead and just out of view, the world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you. So let me be your cure. I'll push your fears aside. Together we could find your answers.
And when it gets too dark, so dark we just can't hide, we let love, we will let love, oh, we will let love be our
Up ahead
and just out of view.
up ahead,
I promise you, and just out of view,
the world is waiting for you.
the world is waiting for you.
Just before people go, I really do love that. I love that old woman, seeing her come to life. I used to work in nursing homes, and you'd see these people that looked like almost dead, and they'd play a violin, and suddenly you'd see them tapping their feet and coming up somewhat. We'd even get up and dance. Anyway, before you do, I've been saying for ages we need a fashion item, and 832 there's always been problems with 832. People don't like the religious connotation. We try to work around that, but it's sort of plateaued. And Melissa Hogan approached me and said, how about the blue banded bee, which you'll see up here in the corner. So here it is here. Let's see if it works. There it is there. So this is it's not the blue banded bee. This is based on the blue banded bee. Now, the beauty with this bee is that it doesn't do hives. It basically just doesn't do them. It doesn't do them. It doesn't follow queen. So it really is, as someone in the comments said when I put it on Twitter to see what people thought, someone said, oh, it's a freebie. And so what we're thinking with it though is so we put these up today, and there's more coming up. You go to cafelocked.com, but anyone can do it. You can even do different bees, a different pattern. But the thing is, you could wear it like a badge, or you could wear it as on a scarf, like a print, or on a hat, or just on a t-shirt, or anything, socks, anything you can think of. And the beauty of it is it's gentle. It's like the forest of fallen in a way. It's not demanding the person. It's not like saying tear down the government or anything like that. It just says I lean towards freedom and individuality. And at the same time too, these bees are endangered and they're killing bees. So at the same time too, it is a dual purpose. So let me know your thoughts, and maybe you've got a better idea. But I really believe in order to make us stronger as we go forward, we need to start being visible in the streets, and I think it's just something we have to do. The woke do it. They wear their rainbow color hair, love them or hate them. They've got the courage to say, I believe a man can give birth, and I've got the hair to prove it. I admire them. The Sikhs do it with their turbans. They get called all sorts of names, and yet they still proudly walk around with their turbans, as if to say, I don't care what you think. I believe. I believe, you know. So they've got the courage of that. And I think we need something. And I notice we go to town after town with Kelly. We don't see anyone wearing freedom T-shirts or anything. So this was the idea of having something that is just, if I walk down the street and then I can see it, you've got a badge on or whatever it is you're wearing, I can see and go, wow, and walk up and go, hi. You know, you're a blue beer too, a blue beer or a freebie, whatever we want to do. So this is just one thought. So I'm not saying this is what we have to go to. Believe. Oh my God, that is great. M Wolf, you're on fire. That is, hey Lynn. Now Lynn's not my mum, but I used to call her mum all the time in the marches. So Lynn, thanks, Lynn. Yep, great. And the other thing too is when they go to pollinate flowers, they vibrate the pollen out. And Kelly was saying, she's a big believer in vibration, as a lot of people are, that we need to vibrate the world up to a place that's more conducive to our soul. So there's a lot going for this symbol at the moment. So I want to thank Melissa Hogan for coming up with it. She's the one that came up with Daisies for Dazzles. So basically, when it comes to this sort of stuff, she's a bit of a marketing guru. And yeah, headband's great. Whatever, you know, this is whatever, cork hats, you can have these, whatever. It also can make jewelry like earrings or a thing. So if you're out there, you're a jewelry maker, maybe you could start making the jewelry and we can sell it, you know, so we can get some money coming through too, because I could see other people wearing this. I think maybe I'll get rid of, that's its tongue. It's not, it doesn't have its sting in its face. Maybe I could take that off. I don't know. But anyway, at the moment, this is where it is. Let me know what you think. And yep, our vibration is a big thing. Thanks, Joanna. Yep. So if you go to Cafe Lockdown, I think I'll put before I go. We've just set it up. So there's just a few things going up, including address and stuff. And Kevin in New Zealand is helping us with the website. So the website will be getting better. So if you're interested, there's stuff here. Beautiful, which is kind of what we all are. Grace, I'm going to call you Grace because I don't know how to say that first name. So there it is. There's the B. There it is there if you want to find some things up, and all things B. But I think you could produce them yourselves. You know, imagine if it took off. You go to a market stall, you're producing bee stuff, and I just think it'd be wonderful if people saw there was something visual, and that became more of a fashion statement in all ways, not just the bee. This could be the start, but something visual that would let people see there is a renaissance happening. Have you seen the amount of people wearing this kind of stuff, whatever that is? You know, some wear the blue bees, whatever, but there's something growing. And so you don't feel alone. You go out, you see other people doing it, we come together, and people will start joining in with us. They'll start wearing it. Yeah, that's great, M Wolf. Yeah, it's a shame I didn't get to go Nimbin this time. Be strong. Man, you're good, Jason. You're good. Like to be or not to be. There you go. Look. You're not stopping. The blue banded bee doesn't look like that. I know, Sean, it doesn't look like that. I understand. But we need something. It's based on that, brother. It's based on that. You know what I mean? If it's atomically correct, it's got a lot of black in it. Black is expensive to print, and it's a bit dark, the black. So it doesn't look like that. This is just, it's the muse, Sean. It's the muse, brother. This also another thing too. Someone brought me this today. I have heard about this before. This is principle democracy, or it's from it's basically what do you call it? Direct democracy. And I'm going to read it, but I have heard of it before, and I think it's beloved. Oh my God, you can't stop. Be free. There you go. Look at you guys. Hi, Steve. I sent it to you, Steve. I sent you the sticker to see what you think, brother. You belong. Oh my God. That's so gorgeous. That's so gorgeous. That's great. Yeah. And they're still going, be the change you want to see. There you go. Look, you guys are on fire. All for a blue bee that doesn't look like the blue bee. Anyway, thanks for watching tonight. I'm in Sydney. I'll be heading down to Melbourne soon. I'm not sure which direction I go. I might go the coast road because there's some guys in Pambula Beach that have been calling, and I'd like to meet up with them. And also, if there's a beautiful group, I don't know if they're still there, but there's a beautifully community of our people in Traralgon. And so I might be heading down there soon. Be the change you want to see. Hey, Donna. Yeah. And Donna, I just want to thank Donna for coming, becoming a podcaster too. So Jason Olborn is going to start going live. I think 6 to 6:30 most nights, or 6:30 to 7 most nights, with his own news broadcast. So I'm very excited by that. He's still working with Jamie, but he's also going to be sort of syndicating to us and to America. So we're very honored to have him. Be Long, now you got it. Now you got it shown. Now you're on fire, brother. Be Long. That's true. That's true. We belong to each other. Beloved. Yep. Wow. Maybe these words could be around it. You know, there's the be, and around it, you've got beloved, belong, to be or not to be, all around it. Maybe you could have a T-shirt like that. So just a few B's, and around it is all the be united, be humble. My God, you guys, this is really clever. Be united. Yeah, maybe that could be it. Start designing. Send me your designs in if you want to do something. Yeah, I will. I will, Lynn. I'd love to see you. I'd love to see both of you. Be Long, love it. And so, and this could be a way also to help us keep, you know, Donna could be selling them. All the podcasters could be selling them. Could be different bees. But basically, it's not just about Cafe Lockdown. It's getting something out in the community that people are comfortable with and brave enough to wear. There you go, Anne. Daughter sells jewelry. See if she can make a blue bees, and we'll sell them. We'll see if we can sell them. I'm wearing a beanie. Maybe we get a blue beanie, Jason. You know, a blue beanie in that color with a bee on it. I don't know. Be yourself, Nettie. Nettie from where are you going? You can Colac. Nettie from Colac. Say hi to Andrew. I haven't talked to him for ages. Thanks, Michael. Behave. Oh, Trish, you didn't have to bring us down. Be united. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go. I'm just wasting time now. And yeah, I did like that song. And but another thing, I actually will play this to go out with, because I was going to play this tonight. And the importance of this is, we had Robert, a Polish guy, came down today to talk to me about this democracy thing. I'm going to be seeing him again. Be loved, Michael. Yeah, look. Yeah, that's true. It's nonstop. Big B back on the screen. Couldn't you put the big so I can photo? Yes. Actually, Karen, send me an email to cafelockdown@gmail.com, and I will send you a high-res version so you can have it. So cafelockdown@gmail.com, Karen. and I'll send you it that way. Johnny, be good. Don't be beaten. Beautiful song. Okay, so we're going to go out. Oh, I want buttons, badges. Yeah, buttons. And I think socks would be cool. You know, you could be a businessman going in. He puts it, he puts his crosses his leg, and then his boss looks down. He's got a bee on his sock. You know what I mean? This is so people could wear it. You wear it to say it's a symbol of Australian independence, Australian freedom. Also, the bee's endangered, so we're bringing some awareness to the bee. Bee need, yes, be safe, be natural. Now, I'm going to go out with a song we wrote about epic, and the reason I am is this is our history. We are something new in Australia. We are a new community. I interviewed George yesterday. It was an honor to interview George and tell his story, including the other great warrior. Oh, what's her name? Rosemary Marshall. I would have actually liked to have done more with Rosemary Marshall, but I didn't have the time. I went to Tunks Park. It was great seeing those people. But basically, the shrine is our history. Epic is our history. All the marches we had. But Epic is standalone because no matter how much money Big Pharma threw at it, no matter how much MSN with all their propaganda got behind it and how much the government pushed it and all the CEOs, they could never, ever, no matter how much money they used, motivate that many people to come to Canberra on their own volition to get vaccinated. The reason we went there, because our freedoms were under threat and we came there to defend them. And not violently, just as a show of force, to say, you're going the wrong way, and we're here to say, let's stop. Instead, they injured us. But the fact that we were there is the miracle, because something called us there. It was a spiritual event. And I tried to capture it in this song. So it's going out now. And we're going to be selling, we're interested to know, because we're just looking ways to keep us going and keep on. Be epic. Beautiful, Elaine. Hey, Elaine, nice to meet you. And that's and so we might try selling the songs. So let me know if you'd buy the songs, and we'll try to figure out a way to get them out. So this is my tribute to the beauty of us when we went to Epic, and that's what I tried to say in that meeting the other day. All the infighting going on, the infighting has almost got us to a point where we've forgotten something fundamental. That in a time of great darkness, we glowed. We came together and we glowed. We were beautiful. And we should never forget that. And we should never, ever forget that, even though people in our own movement are trying to make us, bring us down. Forget them. Maybe we've been infiltrated. I don't know. But at the core, no matter how sad, depressed, worn out, confused, frustrated you get, remember that our tribe was born out of it was born in a womb of darkness, and we found each other. We found each other, and together we were beautiful. Together, I truly believe all of us. We might not feel it. We might not ever get to the destination, but together we are the hope for all of us. People say Jesus is coming to save us. I think Jesus is inside everyone who is standing up and defending humanity, like these two women tonight. Anyway, I start raving on. This is epic. I actually really like this. Take care. I love you. And I'll see you tomorrow with, oh God, what's his name? Lindsay, the psychologist. So we've got a psychologist who's going to come on every second Thursday. So if you've got any questions, we're going to have a philosophical discussion with this stunningly beautiful mind and beautiful heart of Lindsay. I can't wait. So he'll be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Okay? So good night, everybody. See ya.
We came down from Darwin with the dust in our veins. We drove across the Nullarbor driven by change. There were convoys from Melbourne and busloads from Cairns, where we camped at Wodonga and fueled up at Pheasant's Nest. And there were tears of hope singing through our liberated eyes as we scrawled freedom forever across our government's lives, as we scrawled freedom forever across all our government's lives. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that we were still your mates. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that it was not too late. But our country had gone crazy, corrupted by fear, and before us the long path was already flooded with tears. Yet in epic we were dancing, for we knew what we'd done. Together we'd made the birth of all our freedoms. And this new cry for liberty, with the smiles in our hugs, as the cops haunted our periphery like tyranny's new thugs. But for one night in Canberra we knew we were aglow, and our luminance was shining like a beacon of hope. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that we were still your mates. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that it was not too late. So never forget how, by just being authentic, we drew a deep line in their cold sand, from a showground called epic. So never forget how, by leading the way, we wrote a fresh song of freedom that you can still sing today. So sing like you've never sung before. Sing now like your soul's found its wings. Sing out like an echo through our time, until our grandchildren are born humming our lines. Until our grandchildren are born in the freedom's warm and glorious light. Until our grandchildren are born in the freedom's warm and glorious light.